Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Spirit of Vinyl, and my name is Craig. Hope you all had a great week out picking records, listening to your vinyl collections, and you're here to see what I did this week or what we're going to talk about. If you're not sure what I'm doing here, go back and watch the intro episode. I say that all the time. I'm assuming by now most of you have gotten the idea of what I'm doing here. I just basically like to talk about my record collection and what I got and what they mean to me. And that's kind of what the Spirit of Vinyl is all about. Well, this week I did pick up something. I picked up this thing right here, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, self-titled. Picked this up. Look how pretty Vinnie Vincent is in the day. Good Lord, check that shit out. Talk about hair music. I saw it there's a guy who's got like a booth in a flea market type thing. And he's always got fairly decent records. And I saw this here. And being a Kiss fan, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a Kiss fan. If you can't tell by looking over my shoulder, I had to buy it. It's all right. We'll talk about that in depth at a later time. But that's what I picked up this week. I had to buy it. It was Vinnie Vincent, So what I want to talk about this week, I was looking at something like, what am I going to talk about this week? What album do I want? I went to Discogs. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you got all your records in Discogs, you're not sure what to listen to, go to your collection. At the top, it says Random Item. Click Random Item. Listen to whatever comes up. So what it did for me this week was this. Robert Plant, Principle of Moment. The Principle of the Moment, right? The Principle of Moments. The Principle of Moments by Robert Plant. This is in the collection. This is one of the ones that I found in the dumpster. So I never would have bought this. This is one of the ones that just came to me when I found it. And I'd never played it before since I found it. I'd never played it once until last week. It's actually in very good condition. I put the sleeve condition as a VG+. It's got a little bit of dirt and stuff on it, and it kind of feels a little funny. I mean, it's glossy right here is glossy, but this is not. So I don't know if it was designed that way and what they look like brand new. This is a copy from Germany, 1983. It was actually on Atlantic Records, but these German presses and these European presses are from Esperanza Records, it says. And it says Germany and France on the back. I don't know if you can see that right there. It says Germany and it says France. But when I looked up all the run out numbers, it came up as Germany. It still had the inner sleeve. It's got pictures of the band on it. Phil Collins is in this band. I did not know that at the time. And then it's got the list of songs in the back and what's on here. And it's pretty good. The record itself is in very, very good shape. It's got this cool label on there. The record itself has no real scuffs. It's real shiny. It looks really nice all the way around. Like I said, I've listed it as near mint. This album from Robert Plant, I think might be his first solo album. I don't know. I didn't research it that much. I will tell you this. This is not Led Zeppelin. It's completely different. It's listed as more of a soft rock type sound. According to Discogs, it's a soft rock album. And it is very mellow. It's got some good songs. The only thing I knew on here before I played it was In the Mood and Big Log. I remember the videos for those back in MTV in the early 80s. When this album came out, I would have been 14 years old. And songs like Big Log, I do remember hearing Big Log and In the Mood. And those songs have never really went away. You hear them every once in a while still on classic rock radio. But this album, for me, brings me back to that time and seeing that. And then I was thinking about that, being 14 years old and seeing Robert Plant's Big Log on MTV or whatever. And maybe, if I think back far enough, maybe I wouldn't have known that Robert Plant was in Led Zeppelin. I may have been introduced to that beforehand. I'm 14 years old. Of course, Led Zeppelin's been around for a long time, but I was just getting into hard rock and heavy metal at that point in my life. Well, I'd been into it for a little bit, so I'm assuming I knew who Led Zeppelin was and who Robert Plant was. But really, this was being played all the time. That video for Big Log was on MTV all the time. Same with the In the Mood video. So when I heard it, it kind of took me back to that time frame of my life when I was just a young teenager, 13, 14 years old. and hearing this stuff on the radio or on MTV. Most of our music came from MTV at that time. And it's pretty good, though. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not Led Zeppelin. It's not hard rock. It's very mellow, but it's got very good songwriting. It's got good guitars, and Robert Plant's voice was great still. I mean, it was only 83. So it's not like he was ancient at the time when he put this album out. It's got Phil Collins on drums. He's a pretty good drummer. I didn't realize he was on there till just now, and I'm looking at the sleeve. I'm like, oh, fucking Phil Collins is on this? That's cool. But it's a good album. It's more of like adult contemporary soft rock type sound. It's not the heavy guitars or anything else. It's a lot mellower, but the songwriting is really well. It was arranged really well. I was listening to it and, sitting back and kind of closing my eyes, trying to picture it. And it sounded really well. They arranged the songs very well. And this pressing sounds wonderful. It's from Germany, and this was in the collection, like I said, that I found. So Mike, who had this collection before me, must have picked that up when he was over in Europe. He was a military man, and it's been all over the world with him since. There's records in this collection from Japan and from Europe and from the Netherlands and from everywhere else, and this one's from Germany. It's not old enough to say, it just says Germany on it. It doesn't say West Germany or East Germany or whatever. 83, they still would have been split. I do have records that say made in West Germany, so that's kind of cool. This one just says Germany on it. I don't know why that would be. It is an original press from 83 and a German press from Esperanza Records. And it's pressed really well, and it sounds really well. Really no skips or pops or anything else. Every song on here is beautifully arranged, and it's got good guitar, kind of a mellow type sound. I really, really enjoyed it. I really did. I didn't think I would. When it came up on Discogs, I was like, fucking really? You want me to listen to The Principle of Moments by Robert Plant? What, so I can hear Big Log for the thousandth time or whatever? But I listened to it, and it was really, really good. I was surprised. According to Discogs, because this is a German pressing, if you wanted the German pressing, it's like $40. But I'm assuming you could probably find an American pressing. I just go by with the pressing that I have to compare to if I was going to replace this actual record. That's why I'm only looking at the certain pressings that match my own pressing. When I give you what it's worth, that's what I'm talking about when I say it's worth $40. And it's not $40, but by the time you ship it to the United States, it's $40. If you live in the EU and you live over, and I saw like 3 of them from Switzerland, they're like $10 or euros or whatever the fuck monetary value it is. So, but if you want this in the United States and you want this German press, which sounds really, really good, original pressing from 1983, have it shipped to your house, it's going to cost you $40. I'm assuming you can find it cheaper, find an American pressing from Atlantic Records in the United States, probably for $10. Honestly, it wasn't that popular. It didn't sell millions of copies. Everybody's thinking, wait, this isn't Led Zeppelin, so it's not really as popular as like Led Zeppelin albums are, so. But if you want something that you can kind of play in the background that's got good sound and is well arranged, and it's got good lyrics and good songs, and it's something you can play that you don't really have to pay attention to if you don't want to. It's good background music. You're having a cocktail party or something, throw on this Robert Plant album, and you will not be disappointed, and nobody's going to be like, what the fuck are you playing? So I would recommend this. I'd give it 3.5 to 4 stars probably out of 5. It's really good. It's just not my normal style of music that I usually listen to, but my styles have changed. And that's the great thing about records like this that I found that I never would have bought. I never would have bought this record and spent my own money, but it was found in the find, is like what I like to call it. So I heard it the other day, first time I've ever listened to this record, and I was pleasantly surprised. And that's the wonderful thing about records. And like I was talking about in another episode, people find records and give them to me because they know I like records, and I'm getting all kinds of different genres, and it's opening my mind up to other things. So that's the wonderful thing about vinyl. And the fact that this record here itself, this actual record is from 1983, is 40 years old. It's still glossy, kind of show you how shiny it is. There's no real scuffs. There's no skips. There's nothing like that. So vinyl is forever. And that's the other wonderful thing about collecting vinyl records. These things are forever. So, yeah, go ahead, give it a listen, pick it up. It won't cost you much. I'm sure you can find it on Discogs and maybe even at your local record store. So, yeah, I would go ahead and give it a listen. Hell, Big Log and I'm in the Mood, even those two songs. I mean, those are great songs. We know those songs. The other songs on there, I had no idea, but they all sounded really good. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. So, all right, that's it for me for this week. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead, like and subscribe. Leave comments, whatever. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and paying attention and watching me ramble on like this. So I'll talk to you all next week. This has been The Spirit of Vinyl. My name is Craig, and I'll see you next week.